Meditation gives you success in life, efficiency in life, vibrance in life, fulfillment in life, peace in life, and harmony in life. Hi, I'm Harleen Sandhu, and I welcome you all to another episode of Spiritual Talk Show. Today, I'm both humbled and excited to introduce our guest, Ramesh Gajjala. Ramesh Gajjala is a senior pyramid master. He was born in Andhra Pradesh in India. He is currently living in Germany. He is a mechanical engineer by profession. He had got introduced to Anapanasati meditation in the year 1998 by his father, Gajjala Ramasubba Reddy. He had always been curious about meditation. When once he practiced regularly, he had seen asthma, which he has been suffering from long ago, had disappeared. Since then, he practiced more and more. He realized his purpose of life in 2010 when, along with his wife, he was living in Egypt to spread meditation and pyramid energy. Since then, he is balancing his work and spiritual life. His work is taking him where his spiritual work is needed. Patriji sir has always been his biggest inspiration and many other masters whom he had met all these years. So let's invite him. Hello, Ramesh. A very warm welcome to you.
Hi, Harleen. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for such a nice introduction. Happy to connect to you.
Thank you so much for coming to our show today.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So my first question is, how did you get into this path of meditation?
So it started when I was young, and my father had always been one in search of truth. So I always remembered him going to various gurus. You know, like in India, you always follow your parents. So we had no other choice in many ways, but it was a good thing that we always went through, as he had moved through various gurus, various spiritual practices. So all through our childhood, so let's say we are three siblings. So I'm the middle one. I have an elder brother and an younger brother. So three of us, we used to follow our parents, so our father and mother, going from one spiritual master to another spiritual master, one spiritual practice to another spiritual practice. So in that way, all our childhood had passed. And then in the year 1998, he had met Patriji. And his meeting with Patriji, you know, like everyone's else meeting, that was a U-turn, not only in his life, in our lives too. So when he met Patriji, he started meditating. And just after few months of practice of meditation, he had solved all his health issues. And, you know, we have seen him all through his life dependent on medicines. I would say almost 30% of his income was going into medicines. And suddenly, after a few months of practice, he felt being healthier from inside. So he said, I will stop taking medicines. So we were a bit concerned, you know, because we have seen how things were with him when he doesn't take medicine. So then we objected, but then he said, no, I really feel very good. Then he went through a lot of health checkups, and indeed it confirmed that he was much better than his earlier reports. So basically, after a few months of practice of meditation, he stopped taking medicines. And he was joyful, and he immediately started sharing this practice of meditation to everyone, starting with us. You know, we were the first nearest ones. And by then I was already into my college. So I was busy with my studies. And at the same time, I was also, you know, not happy with how frequently new masters and new spiritual practices used to enter our lives. So by then that I was no more a kid and I was already busy with my studies in the college, I used it as an excuse not to start to meditate, because I was in my teenage, so I can resist things. I was a bit no more the kid of the past. So I kind of postponed it, finding good excuses. And only thing I noted was he was growing happier and happier. And he started sharing it to everyone. And he started daily meditation sessions at our home. So many people used to come, they used to sit and meditate. So what I noticed in the first 8 months was everyone who started practicing meditation, they had similar experiences. So they were happier, they started to heal themselves of their health issues, and that caught my curiosity. My grandmom, she started practicing meditation. She was almost 80 years old. She had all sorts of health issues, old age issues. So she had high blood pressure, diabetic, old age pains. Then after 3 months of rigorous practice of meditation, she was meditating 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Then just few months of practice, similar effect I noticed. She was glowing, she was happier. She became like a kid. And she suddenly said, I feel better. I don't need to take medicine anymore. Again, the same cycle, how can you stop medicine at this age that you had so many health issues? Health checkups were done. Everything was normal. So this was the second case. Then I saw a third case, a lady who was a neighbor, family friend. She had bypass surgeries done, and she could not walk from her home to our home, which was just 300 meters, in single stretch. She used to stop, take a breath, and then walk. When she started meditating, I also noticed the same thing. She became healthier and happier. So when I saw all these examples, then I said, no, this is something different to all those spiritual practices that entered into our lives. That caught my curiosity. And meanwhile, my father used to read and share books, to everyone that were coming to meditation. And at those times, I was coming late. Every day we used to have 6 p.m. meditation at our place. So my college used to complete around 6 p.m. When I returned home, we had another door. So enter from a door behind into the house. And we could hear his, people sharing their experiences and his wisdom sharings from the books. So I was just behind the door and hearing everything. So what I heard was something I really liked. So there was things about thought power and lot of wisdom that was sharing. And at that time, that really connected to me was thought power. Because when I was almost 13, 14 years, I read my first book, which was Mind Power and Memory Techniques. As a kid, as a student, I want to remember everything I was reading. So this book came to me, and then I read that book. And when I read that book, I realized our mind have enormous powers. But I never realized how to tap into those mind powers. But then when my father was sharing this wisdom in his classes, I realized, oh, there is a link to what I read and to what he is now sharing. Then I said, I have to practice this meditation. So then on a fine day, I had my lunch break of my college. So I came back home for lunch. And before going to college, I said, now let me practice meditation. So I went on to, on the cellar. I sat for myself. I just don't want to tell anyone that I was practicing meditation. So I just hid myself somewhere in a corner so nobody sees me. So I had 20 minutes time before I should be going back to college. I said, okay, I will just sit for 10 minutes. I sat there and I forgot time. So it was almost 40 minutes when I kind of felt, hey, it is not no more 10 minutes. Probably a lot of time passed. So immediately I had a kind of voice or a thought that came to me that said, don't worry, everything will be okay. The mathematics lecturer, because the next class was mathematics, he will be late today. So it just passed. Then I opened my eyes and I was shocked that indeed the 10 minutes for what I thought of sitting into meditation was almost 30-40 minutes. I was a bit disappointed. First thing, I was shocked because, how come time just disappeared? And it was very peaceful. Something happened in that meditation, but at the same time disappointed because mathematics was my favorite subject. And that feeling that I might miss that class was so disappointing. So I took my bicycle, went so very fast to college. And as I was parking my bicycle, I heard noises coming from my class. So I slowly went closer to see that still the lecturer was not there. So I was happy that I did not miss anything. I went and I sat there. Immediately the lecturer comes. He was very, very disappointed. He just throws his books on the table and his first statement was, this is the first time in my 25 years, 30 years of teaching that I come late to a class. And I come late to a class for no reason. Had there been some reason, that was fine. But I came to class late for no reason. Then suddenly I could remember that thought, that voice that came just before I ended the session. I was in a state, I could not explain it. It was as if a lot of dots were connecting. It was as if a confirmation is there. I was there in the class, but I was lost in these thoughts of what is happening, what had happened in my meditation and what I'm witnessing there in that class. So that was the starting point of my meditation journey. And since then, everything was wonderful. So that is how I started my meditation.
Amazing experience. Like I was actually just was flown into your experience. So my next question is, since you were saying that you read about that thought, what are the importance of thoughts in everyone's life? And we always talk about, we have to be, like Patriji always say, we have to be in miraculous thinking. So how can we make our mind a miraculous mind? Because you think like you try to be a positive and miraculous, but I think soon your thoughts or whatever, you come back to zero. So how a person can make his mind a miraculous mind? What are you say about that?
Very nice question, because this is one of my favorite topics. Even my status is we create our own reality. And how do we create our own reality? We create our own reality through our thoughts. So unless and until we become aware of our thoughts, we do not connect to these realities. When we say our thoughts create our reality, always our thoughts are creating our reality, but we do not understand this unless we witness them. So, we have various ways of thinking. We can think disastrously. We can think negatively. We can think positively. We can think miraculously. This is what Patriji sir says, right? There are 4 types of thinking. And thanks to, I mean, a lot of factors put together, since my childhood, I always had this understanding that we have to be very conscious of our mind, which is our thoughts. And till I did not start meditating, I did not notice even my own thoughts. Just like every normal human being, there are numerous, uncountable thoughts. And if we are asked, to list down the thoughts we had since morning, probably we can list countable number of thoughts. And uncountable thoughts, we cannot list them because it had become so autonomous, the whole system of our mind.
That is true.
Because of how we are brought up, because of how we live in the society. We are all have become so much autonomous. And unless and until we sit with closed eyes, with an intention to notice and witness our thoughts, thereby we practice noticing our own thoughts, not just in meditation, also during our wakeful times. Yeah. So once whatever we notice, whatever we know can be changed. If we do not know something, we cannot change it. Just like unless and until we acknowledge something as an issue, as a problem, we cannot come out of it, or we cannot find a solution. Similarly, unless and until we do not witness our own thoughts, we cannot basically reduce these thoughts, or rather guide these thoughts. So meditation is a way in order to reduce these unnecessary thoughts, so that by witnessing our own thoughts, we can create our own reality. It is like this. We all have a limited amount of energy, and each thought is an energy. The more we think, the more energy we are spending on these thoughts. And truly, we all want to be happy. We all want to be healthy. But when we come to these thoughts of being happier and healthier, because of so many unnecessary thoughts, we do not have sufficient energy in order to manifest those thoughts we truly need. So if we reduce these unnecessary thoughts, we will have all that energy. When we do things that are required in our life, they become realized in a faster way. So everyone can manifest what they want in their life if they become conscious of their unnecessary thoughts. And these unnecessary thoughts, they simply disappear when we notice. That's the magic. If we are not aware of it, they keep on playing in the background. But when we become aware of them, they just disappear. So practice of meditation is the way to reduce these unnecessary, unconscious, autonomous thoughts, thereby paving a way to have selective thoughts. It does not mean that we have only one thought a day, but we reduce the quantity of thoughts, so that the power of manifestation, or the time between thought and manifestation, is much faster.
This is so true. You're so right. Like a lot of time, we don't even know what thoughts we are thinking. We just so conditioned with our belief system that it's like a pattern. You keep thinking without realizing, without being aware. And another thing is, the thought is energy. That is so true, because we keep wasting our energy just on thoughts which we don't even need in our life. So that's a very good perspective. Another thing is, you said that you find your purpose in life. How do you know that this is the purpose of life? Like, you said that you through meditation, and how do a person know that, okay, this is my purpose, I have to go on to this purpose? Like, is there a way, or how do you know exactly?
One has to experience this. For example, how can one know one is thirsty? How much can I explain about the feeling of being thirsty? I can try to explain in many ways, but unless and until one understands their own thirst, they understand what it is exactly. And for me, the purpose of life is something that really, makes you more joyful. It is not a doing. It is not a job. It is not which tires you. It is something that thrives you. And when you realize this purpose, purpose is not just something. We always kind of think purpose of life is something bigger. Sometimes purpose of life is just being a good music player, being a good singer, the best singer, or rather, being a gardener. So whatever inspires you, whatever awakes you from inside is your purpose of life. And for me, when I started meditating, and basically, this purpose of life is a big word, but it is simple to realize when we declutter our mind. Because the purpose of our life is always chasing us. Many times, there are signs that come through in our life that drives us towards our purpose of life. Because we are conditioning our own mind and driving it in different ways, we don't clearly see our purpose of life, even if it is just in front of us. So when we declutter our mind, we immediately see that which is in front of us. It is not something that is so very far, and it is something like climbing the Mount Everest in order to find our purpose of life. The moment we drop our mind and ease from these lots of thoughts, we immediately notice that our purpose of life is just in front of us, just within our reach. And it had given us many times, or rather it had come through our way many times in our life.
So anything which gives you soul happiness, I can say that is going to be a
Yes.
purpose. It's not just to being a doctor or to be an engineer or to get this. Anything which gives you soul happiness, it can be just singing, it can just be dancing, or anything which gives you soul happiness is the purpose of life.
Yes. Yes.
And you started spreading meditation in 2010, right? Or before that? It was 2010. And you started
Yes.
in Egypt. And
Yes.
being Egypt is a very different country. How was your experience and how the people responded there to meditation?
Okay, so before I go to that part, I have to explain how did it start.
Okay.
So although I started learning, or let's say practicing meditation in the year 1998, and since then I was using meditation for my needs, because I realized when I meditate, I'm stress-free, I'm more energetic. So I was using meditation for my needs. For example, if I had exams, I know I have to be up longer in the night. So I used to meditate 1 hour, and that was enough for me. I don't need to sleep. And whenever I used to get sick, I know just 20 minutes of meditation was enough for me. It could be fever or it could be cold, whatever. 20 minutes meditation, it's gone. And then, life gives chances in order to connect to those things which are right in everyone's path. Similarly, it happened with me. As I went through my education and then I started working, the need in order to meditate grew because stress added into my life. So we sometimes think whatever is not joyful is not good, but because of that stress which was not good in my life, I was able to connect to meditation more and more. So the dependency on meditation grew with time in my life. And then in the year 2005, I moved to Italy. I did not know why did this happen. I was already, into meditation, into reading books, into hearing a lot of experiences. And I was questioning always myself, why am I moving to Italy? What is the reason behind it? I only realized later that it is because I have to spend more time alone with myself, meditating more and more. So 3 years I was there. Then I got married, and Madhu and myself, we moved to Egypt. Even then, I had some questions. Why in life that I was supposed to live in Italy? That was my plan. But then, due to my visa issues, just a week before, I was forced to move to Egypt. So there were some questions why this is happening. And then Madhu underwent few issues. She lost her baby, and then she started meditating. She got out of her depression, and then she said, I want to share this practice of meditation to everyone. Then that is when we said, okay, let's start sharing meditation to everyone. And the moment we both have decided it is not enough for us just to meditate, but it is very important to share this meditation to everyone, some miraculous things started to happen in our life, like something. And these were confirmations that we were heading in the right direction. It's like when you are driving to a particular destination, there are some signboards that tell you, yes, you are going in the right direction to your destination. So similarly, things happen in our life. So that way I realized, okay, this seems that we are heading in the right direction. So that is how we started our practice, let's say, sharing meditation to everyone. So examples like, I was working in a cement plant, and it's a production unit, 24 hours working, lot of issues. And since 2008 2010 I was in Egypt. I was already living there. So daily I was never coming back home on time because there were some or the other problem on the production side. But the day we decided that we have to share meditation, and every day at 6 p.m. we will be having sessions at our place, you cannot imagine, there were no issues after 5:30 p.m.
Wow.
So 2008, 9, mid of 2010, these 2.5 years, the life was different. But the moment we decided that we have to share meditation to everyone, suddenly it is as if everything changed. So there were some other issues in our lives. Suddenly they just disappeared. So one after the other, when the first thing happened, I thought, okay, it is just a coincidence. Then the second thing, the third thing. Then I realized, what is this happening? What was the change? The change was just our decision that we have to start sharing meditation. So those were like these signboards when you are driving that confirm that you are in the right direction. These were our signboards, confirmed that what we were doing was the right thing. And then we started sharing meditation. Then, yes, we started with an intention like, let's share to our friends, Indian friends in Egypt, because maybe they know what is meditation. They might have heard, they're coming from India, so they know about meditation. What turned out in few weeks that there were no more Indian friends, but there were a lot of Egyptian friends that started coming to meditation. We realized that everyone around, irrespective of if they were Indian, if they were Egyptian, we realized that everyone were just waiting in order to drop off their issues. It could be health issues, it could be mental issues, it could be emotional issues. So meditation is necessary to everyone. Then a lot of Egyptian friends started to come to the meditation sessions, and it just started with the everyone started to share to their own friends, to their own families, and it went on and went on. And we had wonderful experiences there in Egypt, that even doctors used to write in their prescriptions, go to Madhu and Ram's place and do meditation for 3 weeks. And people used to come with the prescription. They used to ring the bell and show the prescription. We were a bit surprised for the first time. It was like people go to the medical shop and they come with the prescription and they take the medicine. So the first time a family came, they came with this prescription, and then we read and we were surprised. On the letterhead of the doctor, it was written like this: go 3 weeks daily and meditate at this address. So it was a wonderful journey. Egypt, we were there for 8 years, and 2010 till 2017, being there was a greater shift even in our lives, greater learning. Yeah.
By hearing this beautiful journey, I'm so mesmerized. I can feel how you must have felt. And I think a lot of viewers will know the importance of meditation now. So like if doctors are actually telling, because right now we all go with a lot of science. We we listen that if doctor is saying that's much easier, but now I think they will realize if doctor is saying to meditate, and nowadays even doctors tells you to meditate. They tell you to relax and to meditate. So what is the importance of pyramids? And you spread a lot of pyramids energy, talk about a lot of pyramid energies too. So what is the significance of pyramids in meditation?
Okay. So another topic which is very close to me, Harleen. So pyramids are these wonderful sacred structures that can attract, that can take enormous nature energies. So we were fortunate to be in Egypt. We were fortunate to experience the Giza pyramid energies. So again, this is not just said like that, but it is science. So there are a lot of studies that were done. There are a lot of researches that are done. Energy that were measured inside the pyramids. Kirlian photography, for example, wherein one can even see the concentration of energy within the pyramids. So if one meditates within the pyramid, one can reach no thought state much faster, and one gets thrice more energy. And making pyramids is not a difficult thing. In 10 minutes, one can make by themselves a cardboard pyramid in less than 10 minutes time, and use that pyramid for their meditation, use that pyramid to place in their room that enhances the energy of that space, use that pyramid to place on the top of their water bottle so they can charge their water. So there are so many benefits that a pyramid can do. So everyone must meditate, must integrate pyramids into their lives.
As a mechanical engineer, you have a lot of professional commitments. And I've seen you take a lot of workshops, meditations, and like you really spread a lot of spiritual work. So how do you balance your personal, your professional and your spiritual life? Because a lot of people, they struggle in that. Like for them, they said they can't handle both. So a lot of time they don't do their meditations or do spreading or any service because they said they don't have enough time. So how do you balance all that stuff? Because I've never seen you where I say like I attended a lot of your classes and everything, but it's not like that it has been canceled because you have some professional work. And as a mechanical professional, you have a lot of commitment. So how do you balance, how do you integrate both of them together?
I think the word balance comes from a confusion. For me, what exists is just do. Just do what satisfies you. That's it. We should not be falling behind. How can I balance? The moment you say, how can I balance? There is immediately this thought that says, there are two things that are important to me, but this is always important and this is always important. And there is a confusion. So the moment you drop this confusion and you just do what brings satisfaction to you, you find that you are aligned in what you are doing. Full stop. So if you feel satisfied by cooking, go cook. Because when you are cooking, you cannot work. Don't talk about balancing there. It is because you are doing something that is bringing you more satisfaction. You like to work, go work. But be there, make sure you are working because that is bringing satisfaction to you. Do not do anything that does not bring satisfaction. Quit everything in life that does not bring satisfaction. Don't do anything in life that does not bring satisfaction. It has to bring satisfaction, or else it does not make sense. You are doing something wrong. So when you keep doing only those things that bring satisfaction to you, you don't talk about balancing things. You just enjoy whatever you are doing. So this is what that had happened in my life. It is because, again, of meditation. It is because of reading books. I realize whatever I'm doing, I have to do it for the fullest. When I'm at work, I'm also completely involved in it. And basically, I don't feel I'm working. I feel a bit wrong word to use that I'm working. I just feel I'm enjoying. And when I connect, or when I know that that particular aspect of the day is completed, I have everything that is supporting in order to do things that bring equally the joy. You call it meditation, or you can call it artwork, or you can call it cooking, or you can call it just enjoying. So keep doing things that brings satisfaction to you. Don't ever do anything because it pleases others or it satisfies others. Just do everything that pleases you. Just do simply those things that satisfies you. Then you find that balance is following you. You don't need to balance anything. You cannot balance, because the moment, as I said, you want to balance, there are two things, right? There is a struggle, there is a confusion. No, throw out this balance and just do things that brings joy into your life.
Thank you so much for opening a new perspective, because we all run about balancing stuff, that we're going to balance, we're going to balance. And this is so true, because if you're balancing, you're actually, it's a tool, you're making two things important. That is so. Thank you so much for that. What is the importance of experience sharing and listening?
Experience sharing and listening. We are connecting to, we are talking about these very important aspects in everyone's journey. We spoke about meditation, and now we are speaking about experiences sharing. Because when we share our experience, we are also understanding in different ways about ourselves. This is one thing. And when we listen experiences, we also understand that what our experience is only a little aspect of what else one can experience. So it is only inspiring you more and more in your journey. So sharing your experiences makes you learn more about yourself, and listening to others' experiences makes us understand that there is a lot more to experience and a lot more in the journey. So these two are very, very important. We should never stop sharing our experience, and we should never stop listening to everyone's experience. So these three things are important. We said meditation, sharing the experiences, and listening to everyone's experience. And thanks to PSSM, these are the fundamental things that are very much encouraged. I remember every time Patriji talks, or every time a pyramid master talks, the same thing comes out, right? Meditation, experiences sharing, and listening to everyone's experience.
You, along with your wife, do a lot of meditation workshops all over the world. And then you also founded the Beam family. Can you tell us more about the Beam family?
Yeah. So when we came to Germany, we we know by this time, all through our experiences, that wherever we go, there is a purpose behind it, or there is, without any need, nothing is happening. So once we arrived in Germany, we thought, what is it that for what we are here? And we knew that, yes, our journey or our purpose of life was to share meditation, but how, where to start? It's a different country. Everything is different. And then we started very slowly, with friends coming to, to meditation. One person, two persons, then slowly and slowly it started to increase. And we used to meet only once a week, and then almost daily. And that is how the Beam family, which is breath energy awareness meditation family, that had started here in Germany. So then when, let's say in 2020, when COVID had started, we also shifted online. And then more and more people, because earlier there were restrictions, for example, people cannot travel and meet physically, and they need time in order to travel, or a lot of restrictions. Now there is no any more limitation. So even the family, Beam family, meditation family, had also grown during this 1.5 year. It's a joyful journey. It's just like, when you are with your family, you're happy. When you are with your uh, like-minded meditation family, you're also joyful. So it's a wonderful journey with the Beam family.
And it has grown a lot. Like, I'm a part of that Beam family in WhatsApp group, and amazing speakers, anything. If anyone has to join that family, how would they join? Is there like any numbers or what? Like,
Yeah. So they can write to beammeditation@gmail.com, BEAM meditation@gmail.com, all in one sentence. And if they can drop an email, then we get back to them, and they can be part of the same wonderful journey.
yeah, I said I'm fortunate enough to be in that family. Uh, you said Patri sir has always been your biggest inspiration, and you have been with Patri sir with so many years. So, any experiences you want to share with us with Patri sir?
Yeah, Patricia is a, I don't know. I have to search to find right word to him, because he's a lot. He's a lot. And I had been a silent learner from him. At the same time, I had a wonderful opportunity. So let's say myself and Madhu, we had wonderful opportunity living in Egypt from 2000, almost, yeah, 2010 till 2017. Every year he used to come twice to Egypt, together with a group from India, so that they can meditate inside the pyramids. Yeah. So we had wonderful opportunity, always meeting so many masters, and always having Patriji presence. And Patri sir's presence teaches lots of things. It's just like, when you witness yourself, you learn a lot from yourself. And when you're just in presence of Patri sir, you will learn a lot of things. By his words, by his actions, I learned a lot. And many times I cannot even say what I learned, because I only realize later that there is a shift within me. There is a different energy within me. So everything, um, when one is in his presence, I know there are a lot of things one can learn from him. One such thing is, what I learned from him is, do not waste a single second. So many times I have met him, I have never seen him wasting a single second. Either he's reading, either he's in a meditation session, or either he's correcting some books, or either he's cooking, or some or the other thing. Never and ever I have seen him wasting a single second. So this is also one of the learnings. I'm still trying to put it in practice. Not waste a single second and utilize it in every possible way. This is one. Second thing, be in the now. He's such a master. When whatever he's doing, he's completely there. Completely. 100% he's there. And that is when I dropped this idea of multitasking. We are in this modern world where we think and talk a lot of multitasking. And I think that's a very wrong idea. And I only realized, being in his presence, that we have to live more and more in the now. Be 100%, do 100% being in the now. So this is the second thing. And the third thing is how he treats everyone equally. Everyone equally. So he keeps on, let's say, giving us tidbits through his actions. So in Egypt, we saw so many people, and everyone who comes in his presence, it's wonderful to see how lovingly he treats everyone equally, how intently he listens to everyone equally, how compassionately and intently he answers to everyone equally. So this is another thing that I learned from him. Yeah, I think there are so many things, something that comes to me right now are, these things. But yeah, so many things I learned from him. I really love him. Wonderful, wonderful master.
Amazing. And thank you for actually opening our perspective on multitasking, because right now it's all about multitasking. Like, even we tell our kids, you need to multitask, but that is so true that when we multitask, we actually can't able to focus on everything. So just do one thing and be very focused. That is amazing.
Okay, let me share a couple of experiences that had happened in Egypt. Yeah, that really shifted a lot of things within me. So when I was there in Egypt around 2012, I got an opportunity to go to US and start working there. So I was contacted by my head office, and they said, okay, there is this wonderful opportunity, and very few people we have in our thoughts, and we are contacting you for as a first candidate. And it's a very challenging task, but at the same time very promising future. So would you like to go for it? But please take your time, think over it, and let us know. So then, that was probably one of my toughest times, because I had to take a decision. And on one side, we were doing and living life joyfully in Egypt by, sharing meditation sessions and learning a lot living there. And the other hand, there is this wonderful opportunity that had come, promising future, lots of salary. For an young person, this is something one can think about. So that was a tough decision to take. I was contemplating a lot, meditating a lot. What is the right way, right direction? Is it that our time in Egypt completed and a new door is opening there? Shall I go through that door? Or it is not the right time to leave? So what happened exactly at that time was, I could see one of my past lives. So in that particular lifetime that I have seen, I was an Islamic sheikh in that particular lifetime, sharing the truth of Quran to everyone there in Egypt. I was living in Egypt, and Madhu was there in that lifetime also. There were few of my close family who are also in this life were present in that lifetime. And then Madhu was also in that life, and we were together before we got married in that lifetime. And then people did not like what I was sharing because they wanted to go as per what is in the book, but I was sharing the truth from the book. So various other people around, they did not like that, and they were trying to find out chances how to get rid of me. And basically they find out that me and Madhu were together, and they thought, okay, this is not right, and kind of they got rid of me. I saw this lifetime. Then I woke up. It happened during my sleep time. Then I woke up and I was with my open eyes, but I had this experience of not being in that space where I was sleeping when I woke up. I was completely in a different space, in a space of understanding. And there was as if all the information was available there. I could see everything in life clearly connected. I could see that still my lifetime, or rather, the first experience was, this is the reason why you have come to Egypt. You were living in Italy and you came to Egypt because that is the place where you and Madhu should start your life exactly where you have ended. No other place than in Egypt you can come together and start your life. Because it never made me, it never explained me why just a week before I got married, I was forced to move to Egypt.
Wow.
And just before moving, I went to my HR, and before I went to the HR, they said there could be an opportunity in US or other country in Europe or any other country other than that. But when I went there, only Egypt was there. So I never understood why this was happening. But in that particular, state, I could see the reason why this had happened. And the next clarity I had was, this lifetime, still there is a pending work to be done in Egypt. The truth sharing that had started in that lifetime continued into this lifetime, and still it did not complete. So you have to still stay here. And the third thing was, I kind of had, not a proper connection with my family. For some reason, never I knew. But only after seeing that vision, I realized it is because that I carried that guilt from that lifetime, that due to love, I could not accomplish my life purpose in that life. And that guilt had kind of, was still there within my, subconscious, and I could not connect well with certain people in my present lifetime. But the moment I could see that was coming from the past life, immediately there was as if a heavy weight had been lifted out of me. And it was a wonderful state. And a lot of things had shifted within me after that particular experience, because I realized I'm not this body that I lived in the past. I'm living now, and I will live in the future. That we are here connected with everyone, and we all come together in order to progress, to learn, and to grow. And the third thing is, we all are always properly guided when we are in the right path. We will be given indications, directions, support. This was the third thing. Then I called up my head office and I said, I feel like still staying here in Egypt. So that was an easy decision. What started as one of the toughest calls was such a light decision, easy decision later. So then the day later, I got a call from my friend, and he said he started to share his career path. Then I had a doubt. Ramesh, you had a dream probably, and you have dropped a wonderful opportunity. You were so crazy. So this question started to come up again. Our mind keep
Yeah.
putting lot of questions. So then I was thinking, oh, probably I missed out something, and I was so very fool to drop out just because of maybe a dream. Then I was on my way to office, and the driver said, I want to talk to you. Then I said, and he was our driver for almost 3 years there, very good, basically a family friend and friend there. And he said, yes, please tell what is that. Then he said, you know what, the plant manager had called me yesterday, and he had told me if I'm interested to go and work with him. And he said he promised me he will pay me almost thrice to what I'm paid now.
Wow.
Okay, then I know him very much, very well, his needs and thing, and I was happy to hear that. And I told him, you know what, please, from today evening, immediately go and start working with him, because that will really help you out. And he stopped the car, he looked into my eyes, and he said, do you think I'm telling you this because I seek a permission from you? I already know my decision. I have immediately told him that I'm not going to work with him, but rather continue with you, because every time I work with you, I'm only joyful. And that matters me most than anything else. And immediately I could, it was a confirmation again and again. Every time I had a question of the decision that I have taken, that there is a confirmation readily available. So that was very touching experience. Since then, whatever, there are no more questions since then, because everything that resonates within, there is no more doubt, because that's a clear guidance. There is no more confusion. There is only clarity, because with these experiences that came through in my journey, there is a joyful choice in everything that is just in front. So that was one of the nice experiences that really shifted a lot within my life. Yeah.
Amazing. This tells us that meditation gives us so much clarity that our actually perspective and views change, why it's happening. Because a lot of things are still connected from our past lives, which we're never able to connect. But in meditation, we can actually connect all the dots and make it a beautiful journey.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Can you provide our viewers one key takeaway for today?
One key takeaway. So if you are listening this, if you are here today, you're not here by chance. It is because you are supposed to be here. And don't miss this opportunity to start shifting your life into more joyful and more clarity. And you need to meditate. And meditation is the only thing that transforms everything within your life. So catch meditation as early as possible. Catch meditation from today. And the rest will be completely transformed. Everything will be completely aligned. Life will be beautiful. And life is beautiful with meditation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ramesh, for such beautiful insights of your life, amazing experiences, wisdom, opening our perspective to these new things like balancing, multitasking, which I think we were just on one go, but now our perspectives has opened so much. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Harleen.
Thank you, everyone, for joining me today. We have great Pyramid Masters coming in my upcoming episodes. So stay tuned. Until then, be conscious, stay miraculous, and keep meditating. And don't forget to subscribe PMC Global. And for PSSM courses, visit www.pssga.org. Thank you.